There seems to be considerable confusion about radon mitigation permitting in Florida. Actually, permitting for radon mitigation has not been expected until fairly recently, and is now being required in only a very few of Florida's 67 counties. And it's quite misleading because folks believe that installations will be proper and correct, and if not, installation will be rejected by an official inspector. Not true, as you'll see in a few moments. I began performing radon mitigation in 1987, at which time we were advised by Rick Dixon, head of the Department of Community Affairs, that because there were no standards and no trained, licensed official inspectors to inspect radon work, radon mitigators should not apply for building permits. The state had not trained, qualified, or licensed any official to inspect radon system installations. About 7 years later, the state of Florida adopted the radon mitigation standards in June 1994. The legislature directed that such standards must be examined and revised every 2 years thereafter to incorporate improvements in radon technology. That meant that the standards had to be examined and revised in 1996, 98, 2000, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Guess what? It's never been done. Not a single revision of the primitive and incomplete standards of 1994 since 94 in over 20 years. And guess what? As of October 2014, 27 years later, the state has still not trained, qualified, or licensed a single building official in Florida inspector to enforce the radon mitigation standards. Under Florida law, no building official of any county is permitted to inspect a radon mitigation system for conformity with the standards of 1994 or to reject installations that do not meet or which violate the standards unless he is licensed by the state to do so. So what happens when a permit for radon mitigation system is installed? The fact is that when an official inspector inspects the installation, he does not even look to see that the primitive 20-year-old unrevised radon mitigation standards have been met. And if the installation does not meet the ancient unrevised standards of 1994, he does nothing because he's not trained, qualified, tested, or licensed to inspect radon mitigation systems. So under the law, he cannot and he will not do it. If there's any doubt in your mind that this is not true, please contact your county permitting office and ask them if they enforce the radon mitigation standards in any way whatsoever. But they won't tell you they don't enforce those ancient and primitive standards unless you ask.